Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're tuning in. Welcome to the latest episode of A Day with Dre, hosted by yours truly. As usual, I'll give my opinion on things I think are important, from things that can be political to how you're doing with your mental health. With that being said, I don't think I'm an expert on anything. Sometimes your opinion can be informed, sometimes it's not. Today, we're really focusing on the season, though. Fall is here. Waking up and it's 42, 43 degrees outside, highs in the mid 50s. It's getting cold. With that, the days are getting shorter. So it's the season for that funny little thing that people get, that seasonal depression. Sunlight's going away. You wake up, go to work, it's dark. You get home from work, dark. Sunlight's very important for your health. But now we're at the end of October and Halloween's right around the corner. Okay. And this year it's on a Friday. This is the stuff dreams were made for when we were kids. Having a Halloween on a Friday, you could have a nice Halloween party going right into the weekend, or you could do your Halloween themed football game if you were the Friday Night Lights kind of person. Yeah, it would have been perfect. But how do we feel about Halloween as adults? Are you still into it? You know, the spooky season gets you excited. For me personally, I love scary movies, so I'm still here for it. Candy, that never was really my thing. I don't have much of a sweet tooth, but I'll sit and watch 6 straight Halloween movies. I don't care, and shamelessly too. Costumes at parties. I think dressing up for Halloween is fun. A bunch of years ago, when I said my future wife's probably going to dress in something that's very disrespectful to herself tonight on Halloween, but just know that I still love you. And you know what? I think we're past the degrading dressing for Halloween stage in life. I mean, I think I am. At least I'm in my 30s. Maybe you're not. That's fine. However, whatever works for you. It's nothing wrong with being a little sexy for Halloween, but also maybe sometimes you got to know when to leave stuff to the youngins. It's okay. For my millennials, it's okay. We're getting old. Like, sometimes you don't got to try to be sexy on Halloween anymore at this age. But I think a good Halloween party is still something that can be useful. I'm kind of a little butthurt about Halloween though, because last year that's when I first hurt my knee. I thought I could still hoop, blew out my knee on Halloween. 2 knee surgeries later, still dealing with some shit related to my knee. But we're on the right track now. Yeah, but Halloween and basketball do not mix. So make sure, if you're in my age bracket and you're going to be out there getting a little turned up for Halloween, don't try to change direction. Otherwise, you might end up in the hospital. Your knees are not built the way they used to, and don't let the alcohol tell you otherwise. But what else is going on outside of it being spooky season? Cuffing season's warming up. I hate that phrase. I say that kind of sarcastically. What else is going on? I'm a federal employee. The government's on hold. People are still not getting paid. Apparently, food stamps are about to get cut off. I don't know what happens to Medicare and Medicaid. I haven't really locked in too much with everything that happens when the government shut down and people aren't getting paid. Food stamps are cut off. I'll say we see it across the world. People, when they're hungry, things do not go well. So I hope and pray that this situation gets figured out. I don't really care about like who needs to cave where. People that have everything they need and make a lot of money are jockeying and having a standoff. And of course, the everyday person is going to suffer for it. And the most vulnerable people are going to suffer from it. So hopefully that shit gets figured out. But yeah, the government's been wilding though. I can't ever remember another time when you could go onto an official government page and you would see them like blaming the other side, like on an official government account. It's one thing when it's a personal person from a member of the government, right? They can say, well, this party's not doing this party's not doing that. But like the Twitter page for Homeland Security, the Twitter page for, Department of Defense or Department of War or whatever it's called now, they're literally just like, the radical left is keeping you from having your government open. Some stuff should just remain partisan. I don't know. It's crazy that this is where we're at. There's also a weekend of protesting. I have mixed feelings about the protests because, yeah, okay, no kings. We don't have a king. Donald Trump might like to feel like a king, but he's not a king. He was voted in. Okay, We already know that a bunch of us do not like the president. Going out in the street and making noise about it, what did we what was accomplished? Because I don't think any awareness was spread from it. I don't think we gained anything from a No Kings protest. So again, it's not me saying not to do it, but I guess I could just do myself a favor and research what the goal of it is, but I haven't seen anything good come out of it. So I'm just always interested in what, you know, if you're protesting something, what is your end game? Are you spreading awareness? Are you trying to stop something from happening? You're just voicing your displeasure, and you have the right to do that if you don't have any goals to come out of it. But like, being loud and not wanting to anything to result from being loud just seems like a waste of energy, in my opinion. But if you feel good about it, kudos. But the NBA started back up. Last night was the opening night of the NBA. Had a very good opening game with the Rockets and the Thunder, and my guy Alperen Şengün, Baby Joker, put the league on blast. Um, I've been a secret fan, but now I can be a fan out in the open now. Also, oddly enough, I have like a good amount of Turkish people that follow this podcast, or at least like the YouTube version of it. So shout out to y'all for producing another good basketball player. Best one since Turkaloo, one of my childhood goats. Those Orlando Magic days, Hato Turkaloo. I'm gonna be honest. I'm rocking with the Wolves. Y'all already know. Those that know me know I'm Team Bron. But like I'm from Minneapolis, so I'm rocking with the Wolves. LeBron will he's my favorite player, but that doesn't mean I'm cheering for the Lakers. Plus, he's old and washed. Like, who gets sciatica in the NBA? That's crazy. But his wash level is still like he's still one of the best players. So let's not get it twisted. There's no LeBron slander going on over here. And I'm talking about basketball because my Steelers, I don't know, man. Joe Flacco, once again. Joe Flacco strikes fear in that man, Mike Tomlin's heart, and he just exposed my team. So we can move on. I don't want to talk about that. You know what? Steelers came up. I don't even want to talk about sports anymore. Again, it's getting colder. Days are getting shorter. Holiday season's coming up. It's usually for a lot of people a season of like family time, a season of love. Together, you're coming together. You're spending time with people for all these different holidays. If you got family, you're dressing your kids up for a Halloween. You're taking them trick or treating. But for some people, this is also the hardest time of year. If you are separated with your family and the weather already doesn't help, it makes you feel super isolated and alone. For people that go through that are listening to this, as someone that's been separated from their family physically for a decent amount of time, I understand that that's tough, and find your community if possible, because that helps you get through these times. But what are we going to do to make sure our mental health is in the best shape it can be going into this time of the year that tries to bring us down? Okay. Literally Mother Nature's plotting on us with the sun going away. So what are we doing? How are we locking in to try to make sure we're good? But before we really get into that, make sure you share, like, subscribe to the Day with Dre podcast. Again, that's greatly appreciated. We had a lot of good growth over the last year, and let's just try to keep that thing going. Interestingly enough, recently I got into this back and forth with a gal friend of mine, and it was just a silly, like, little friendly banter about friendships and men versus women, and how like each of us were saying the other side doesn't have great friendships. And like, it's not, if you're listening to this, it's not, don't get too deep into that, because obviously there's always exceptions to the rule. Okay. These are not laws. This is just us two friends messing with each other based on personal experience. And from my standpoint, I was arguing that men make friends easier, have healthier friendships than women. And again, this is not based on science. This is not based on any evidence other than what I have experienced with my two eyes. And I have some of my best friends are women. So that I'm not saying that women aren't capable of those things. In my opinion, on average, I thought that men made friends easier and our friendships were stronger. Okay. It's based on my own super biased opinion. And maybe it's just because I have my own exceptional group of friends. Like I've had a really strong group of friends since college. We kind of just all ended up in the same place, became best friends. We live together. We're more like family now. And I mean, I just saw one of my homeboys in Houston just a few weeks ago. Went there and linked up, and it had been a couple years maybe since we. No, actually, that's a lie. I saw him in Chicago earlier this year, but we don't see each other very often. But whenever we get together, it's like it's like we're back in college. Like we just lock in. It's not like oh, I used to be close with him back in the day. Like no, that's still my brother. Like that's how my friend group is. One of my best friends got married in Puerto Rico. All of us were together, and it was like we never missed a beat. When we got together in Vegas, same thing. We never missed a beat. We've been locked in for a minute. We've laughed together, we've cried together, we've literally fought people together. Like we have remained locked in. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. I just obviously the bias is I'm not a woman, so I have not been in a woman to woman friendship. But like my argument was women, like it seems like the friendships, like I know women obviously have best friends that they can be locked in for, but like have you ever gotten into a fight with one of your friends as a girl, like a literal physical altercation because something just got so heated and then let it go and just been like, yeah, we were tripping, we're good now. Like you might have done that with your cousin or your sibling when you were a kid, but like we were adults. And I'm not saying that like that's a sign of maturity because like as adults, you should be able to work stuff out without fighting. But like we've gotten into heated ass arguments. One night in college, I told one of my like a friend from this group, I told him he was pissing me off and I knew he was drinking and I told him I would sleep him. And then we were dead ass like about to fight. And then like 2 days later, it was like nothing happened. Like we don't hold that against each other today or anything. And I'm stereotyping, but like I just feel like the women I know, you're that's not happening. That's going to be a grudge forever. And maybe that's because women are smarter. Maybe you should hold a grudge against someone that tells you that they'll beat your ass. I don't know. So maybe I see that as a strength for men, but actually it's a weakness. And another point I was trying to make is that like dudes come together and like me and my friends, we all enjoy sports. None of us have the same favorite sports teams. We like different types of music. I mean, like we like rap, but like none of us have the same favorite artists. I don't know what any other favorite colors are. I couldn't tell you any other birthdays, but like I know if I needed one of them to, if I had something come up and I needed someone to fly to Illinois and make sure I'm good, like they would make sure that would happen. They wouldn't be salty that I didn't remember their birthday or like when the day comes up, of course, like if someone else says it, I'm going to say happy birthday. But like off the top of my head today, I couldn't be like, oh, Ryan's birthday is blank. Like we just don't move like that. And we don't think that we care about each other less because of that. Now, the other side of the aisle, I can't say that y'all be feeling the same way about that. And I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just I'm just saying that like my point was men have it's easier for men to have like for us to have strong friendships and it's easier for us to just have friendships and maybe that's because we don't value stuff enough. Like maybe my all my friends should know my birthday, I don't know, but she had a great counter argument when we were talking about this because her rebuttal to this situation was like men's friendships are like transactional. Like after you become adults, what men just get together and kick it. Like, yeah, I'll still have that same group of friends from when I was, in college and growing up. But like any new friends that I've added, we don't just kick it, right? It's always like we get together and it's always activity based. Now, again, I feel like my specific group of friends, we break that stereotype or mold because I don't know, we've all been together, we've been down and broke together, and we would have made it fun, we would have made it lit no matter what we were doing. But also I feel like guys, like we can have like a friendship with someone, like there's people that I have numbers saved from and it's like Hooper at the Y. hooper from Lifetime, whatever. And like I hoop with people and they just call me Doc. No one, I don't think anybody actually knows my real name. And like I didn't play basketball for a minute because of my knee, of course. And I go back to the gym and I'm still not playing. I'm just in there shooting. And a couple people that I hadn't played with in a year were just like, Doc, is that you? Where you been at? People that are genuinely like, they're like, we've been wondering. We ask people if you move, like if you've been okay. The more I'm thinking about it, I'm like, damn, maybe we do form friendships as like dudes that have no substance to them. Like we just hoop together, and then somehow that turns into like me being at your wedding, but then I still don't even know your middle name. Like it's kind of crazy how that works. Like I was in someone's wedding last summer, and I was a groomsman and didn't know his ethnicity. And like my date at the wedding pointed that out. And I was like, yeah, you're right. That is kind of crazy. But I wasn't the point of this isn't to start some kind of random ass gender war. It's again, it was like friendly banter. Like there's no rule, like men and women both have great and shitty friendships. Like that's the takeaway. Just live a little, laugh a little, have some fun, argue with a friend. It's good for your health. But more importantly, especially with like this time of year and me talking about like seasonal depression and whatnot, a good support system, a good community, a good group of friends is really important to get through times that might be a little tougher on your mental health. And I believe in community. People are meant to have people, right? The whole lone wolf thing, like I'm an expert at being independent, but like life's a lot better when you have a support system, when you have people in your corner. And that could be, your friends. Of course, it could be your family, your romantic interests. I would try to be weary of like making work your community. Like, of course, you can have great community at work, but maybe they actually become your friends instead of just being coworkers. I don't know. Like, you can have like your work bestie, but then they just don't know anything about you outside of life. Like, I would try to always make a community outside of work. It's probably better for your mental health that way, anyways, because not a lot of people love their job. So, trying to make your job also your social life outside of being at work. Probably not the best idea. But like for me, I have brothers, I have a sister, I've got parents. We have different varying levels of communication. But like my community, since I've especially been separated from my family for all these years, it's been my boys. Again, I just talked about them. We've had the same group chat going for damn near shit. We're like 15 years deep now, dang near. 13 years deep in this. And like I alluded to a little earlier, I actually don't like, I know we will run through a wall for each other, but like, what's the depth of our friendship? Like, how much do we really know about each other? Do any of us know a single other person's middle name? And I'm not saying that's important, but when we were arguing about men versus women, she was like, y'all literally know nothing about each other. I can tell you everybody's favorite sports team. I can say what event they did in what sport, what position they played in what sport, what town they grew up in, like truly personal details. I kind of got that. I don't know. She caught me on that one. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. Like I'm trying to think of like if someone needed something, what kind of identifying factor I could give to prove that like I truly know that person. That's just not super general, something that you can't just easily find with a Google search. So I don't know, maybe on a side note, maybe we do need to work on that. But with that being said, like when in these friend groups, whether you're a guy or gal, this doesn't really is I'm done with the whole gender war thing going for a little bit. Are we there for each other? Are you really there for your friends? When's the last time you've just been like, yo, how is everyone doing? Like when's the last time you've asked your best friend like how are they doing? But like when's the last time like men, when's the last time in your group chat you've been like, y'all, is everybody good? Are we good? How are we doing? Mental health check. I'm just kidding, you don't have to phrase it like that. But like when's the last time you've just wanted to make sure like your friends were good? I don't mean like making money. I mean like how are they mentally? How are they emotionally? Because a lot of people are out here suffering in silence. I'm gonna be honest. Like I've been one to do it. I was not thriving when I was laid up on my couch for weeks and weeks and weeks after knee surgery. And for some reason, my dumbass just didn't like, I never had I don't know what it was. I didn't tell anyone that, like, y'all, like, I am down bad right now. I just never said anything to anybody. And I think us as people, we just do that too often. So, like, it's like, check on your people, but also like tell people when you need, like, when you're not doing okay. Like that communication goes both ways. And it's okay to be like that and not be transactional. Like if you truly care about someone and you feel like they're going through something, you don't have to be like, well, why am I going to ask if they're doing all right when they didn't tell me happy birthday? Like they told me happy birthday a couple days late. So now I'm not going to check in on this person after this surgery they just had. And it sounds ridiculous, but I swear, people are like that. People are that petty. People are that messed up where it's like, I know I should do this, but they didn't do this for me. That's not a friendship. Like your friendship shouldn't be transactional like that. Like if my friend needs something from me, I'm not going to be like, well, did they like, cause then that's not really your friend. Like that's like a business partner. Like it's not quid pro quo or it's not favor for favor, but that's how we're treating people. It's just crazy. And I feel like this digital age has made that it's done that to everything. It even does that to family. Like your family, your immediate family, the people that helped raise you and helped you form who you are. Like it's not quid pro quo. It shouldn't always be favor for favor. Obviously, there's an extent where it's like, all right, I can't keep doing this for you. You got to get me back. But like, you should be able to easily do you know, you're having dinner at mom's house, and she's like, can you pick up the pasta salad or potato salad or something like that? You shouldn't drop it off and be like, I have my $12, brother. That is your mom. But people are really like that, and it's just like, what are we? I don't know. I feel like that's insane. Now, if it's like if you spent your last on something and you really, really need that back, you couldn't afford to like lose it long term. That's like a different situation. I had a roommate that was kind of like that, and we were just like, we just could not get along. It's just like, bro, you're really gonna sweat me over? Like, yeah, no, I'm not even gonna go down that rabbit hole. But everything, like friends have become so transactional. I've seen relationships become transactional when it's just like, you picked where we ate the last two times, so now it's my turn, and it like turns into a fight, and it's just like, is it really that big of a deal? Like literally, like you must hate your partner because it sounds like that matters. Or it's like, you picked this movie last weekend. It's my turn to pick the movie. Like, brother, who cares? It's a fucking movie. But whatever. I excuse my language. We're getting a little too crazy. And honestly, I feel like that the loss of like interpersonal, we're doing all this stuff through these screens all the time. And I feel like that's made us like lose the humanity in our relationships with each other, which is why I'm so grateful that like I lived with people that, and that's how they became my best friends. Because like we're beyond like we're closer than I feel like you can get to someone if you're only talking to them digitally. And I think that's why friendships don't have depth, because like hearing someone, seeing someone, I feel like that makes your bond stronger. Even in relationships as well, you can feel like you're really vibing with someone through texts and whatnot. But wait until you talk to them on the phone. Wait until you FaceTime them. Wait until you spend time with them in person, and that connection, like it's going to feel so much better. And I don't know, maybe it's like the pheromones of another person, because I promise you, like, you might think you like someone just through like digital conversations. You hear their voice, their scent, or something like that. You will be so much more locked into that person. It's not even close. And those of you that have like worn your significant other's hoodie or something like that, you smell their perfume or whatever body wash, and it just like, I feel like it's just a whole nother game versus like the depth of texting conversations can play. And but the devices are killing that. And honestly, I feel like it's part of me, and I don't want to get into like this crazy like conspiracy stuff, but I feel like that's intentional because we're losing community. It makes us our moods are worse, our happiness is down. What do? We get on our phones, we want to spend money. What can we spend money on that makes us feel better? What can we order that makes us feel better? What can we eat that makes us happier? Like it's crazy. It and then you start getting addicted to this instant gratification, and then that leads to like this insane dating culture and like these dating apps that you're so then you're like, well, this person that's been nothing but great, but our conversation's a little dry this day, so let me open the app back up, and now all of a sudden there's 55 other people that I can choose from. Whereas if you actually had to go outside, it wouldn't be like that. It ruins everything. And honestly, I think it's intentional. And then plus they're doing all this advertisement for stuff like, I don't know. Somehow, some way I'm always gonna come back to like capitalism being the root of all evil. The machine itself isn't evil, but the people that run it are evil, so therefore capitalism is evil. I'm sorry. That and I'll stop there. I won't go on this rant on capitalism. But yeah, it's like we're just scared to like lock in with each other. You don't want to be out here looking crazy. You don't want to risk liking someone more than they like you. And honestly, I used to be on that type of time myself, but like in my age now, it's just like, bro, who cares? Like I promise you, I've been in relationships and the grass is not greener. You might think it is. You might fall victim to what they want you to believe and get out here in these stupid like superficial dating cycles. The grass is not always greener. Just cuz you're not happy, well, I mean your baseline can be happy, but just cuz like every day isn't like the most exciting day of all time doesn't mean that you need to go find something else. And I'm not saying to stay in something that's not good. That's not what I'm saying at all. Do not do that. And also, I'm not a relationship counselor, but sometimes the grass is greener, but the grass is not always greener. But enough with the enough with the heavy conversations. I don't know if y'all are still using X or Twitter, whatever you call it, but for some reason today it was kind of it's been on fire lately, and I don't know, my algorithm's just showing out. But some stuff I learned from Twitter today. So Billboard released their list of R&B singers, and I agree with number one. Stevie Wonder, I think, is the goat of R&B music. I don't think it's debatable. You might hear that and be like, "That's super random. That's surprising." Go look at his catalog, and you'll get it. I saw people complaining that the top 10, every single person was black, and like respectfully, how is that controversial at all? You could probably get through 1 through 25, and it still doesn't change. But so Michael Jackson is my goat artist. I think I I think he's good at R&B. I think he's the king of pop though. There's a difference. But they have him at number 3, Aretha Franklin at number 2. I think the biggest travesty on here though is the person that people don't like to talk about, but R. Kelly. I think R. Kelly is hands down number 2, and you could argue for number 1, and I hope I have a job tomorrow for talking about R. Kelly being disrespected in this. Again, this is just the music. This is not like he's a weird ass, perverted ass, freaky ass person, and he's paying his dues for that. He's in jail. But as far as just the music goes, like my thing is he got caught doing stuff at a time where I don't know, like all the cameras are on him. They can make a Netflix documentary or whatever. But like, let's not act like the allegations aren't there for, let's see, who else is on this list? Prince. Ironically, there's like he's apparently he was a huge homophobe. Like again, I'm not saying that's like worse than molesting children, but like we can't just pick and choose when to judge people by their character, because then every single person on this list is probably problematic. Like Marvin Gaye, he's notoriously known for being a terrible person. Rest in peace. I'm not saying he's a terrible person, but like that's just something that's been out there and said about him. And is it true? Is it not? I don't know. But we can't just only be like R. Kelly doesn't belong on this list. Because again, it's not who's the best person, it's just who made the best music. And then, of course, Billboard also released their greatest Halloween songs of all time. And somehow Thriller was number 22. And they had Monster Mash and Ghostbusters at 1 and 2. So you know the pigment of the person that made the list. That's all I'm going to say with that one. The Thriller at 22 is insane. Even if you don't have it at number one, 22 is insane. They had fucking Super Gremlin by Kodak Black on the list. Like, what? And it was higher than Thriller. What other song on there has a dance? Shit's crazy. But last but not least, like the craziest thing that I saw on Twitter this week was there's this NBA Twitter account. I'm in sports Twitter pretty heavy, and there's this NBA Twitter. NBA is just starting up. It's very relevant right now. There's this account called Hood Genius. It's like this Milwaukee Bucks, Wisconsin sports super fan, and somehow this user, it's like a 22-year-old kid, is getting into a back and forth with the Department of Homeland Security's social media accounts, and they like labeled him as like a leading Democrat, and he's like an internet troll. And really, that's just like, our country is so cooked. Like, you are the account for the Department of Homeland Security, and a basketball Twitter troll doesn't like that you like reposted some video, and you're going to spend time stooping to that level and getting in a back and forth. It was like, do we not expect more of our institutions? Like, is it entertaining? Sure. But like, seriously, do we not expect more of our institutions? Like, like, what is happening? It is such an embarrassment. It is such an embarrassment. Like, and then they have the nerve to like call him a leading Democrat. It's like so polar. Like, a person can just say, I don't agree with how people are getting deported, and now the Department of Homeland Security's Twitter account's going to label you a radical leftist leader of democratic people. Like, how does stuff just escalate that much? Like, what seriously, what are we doing? The shit is crazy. But yeah, those are, I don't know. Even though I don't really mess with Elon like that, I don't know. I'll just never. He ruined the app. It's all bots. It's all race baiting and bigotry if you actually like use it. But you still get some super, super funny stuff. Like, I did see a picture of a poster at like the No Kings protests where it was like, the only king in this country is LeBron, or we only have one king and his name is LeBron, or something like that. And I'm like, okay, that's just gold. Like, Twitter, I'm still seeing, like, that's the only place you see stuff like that. So it's still good for some laughs. And then for every time you laugh, you will be disgusted like 3 times. But yeah, ultimately, I just wanted to check in. I just wanted to talk my shit, check in, and let's make sure we're doing all right. Again, the days are getting shorter. Do what you got to do to make sure that you're doing good mentally. If you want to pick up some reading, take your vitamin D, start exercising. If you're not doing that, just, get up and move around. Make plans with people and actually keep them. Don't just cancel, and be social and be interactive. And I promise you, you will feel better about some things. I'm not saying that you'll feel all the way better, but it'll be better than being a hermit. All right. If y'all are doing something for Halloween, stay blessed out there. Take care.